Go upwind, you trim the sail. In the very beginning, when you slow the boat heel, then the boat accelerates and comes to windward because the foils start pushing.
Yes.
And the normal mistake is people goes inside the boat and they don't accelerate. When the boat comes to windward, is the moment to trim the sail, maybe even over trim, to pop up.
Correct.
Because you need your righting moment to accelerate. When it's becoming too much, you need more power in the sail to pop up. That's something that you need to sort out. You do 2-3 times.
You bear away also?
You bear away a bit,
Okay.
but
Not more.
no need. You need to. The boat is building the speed very, very quickly,
Okay.
and then to give the pop up, you need to give kind of a
A
pump.
pop.
Pop up, and then maybe you go in with the weight, but after you pop up.
So you pop
No-
up,
not
you go
before.
inside with the Usually it's the front
Maybe,
person.
maybe it depends on the. Yes, usually the front person is the one moving more in and out
So it is expected only 2 people on the
on the rack. Yes.
on the rack when foiling.
When foiling can
Usually
be
only
2 or
people.
3,
Oh, two,
but for sure is not important when you're foiling. And what will be incredible is how stable is the boat when it's foiling. You can go around. It's not that you are like
Against 1 ton, it doesn't matter. Right?
yeah, you can go in out.
The real thing is the main trim.
Yes,
Of course.
yes,
That's,
exactly.
that's the real
The
whole
trick
feel.
for a proper takeoff is to understand when is the right moment to trim the sails, to pop up. And then maybe it's again, because you should consider that you can pop up upwind. Let's talk about upwind. You can pop up in kind of 9 knot of true wind speed, 8.5, 9 knot of true wind speed. But as soon as you pop up, you end up flying at 16. So you're doubling the wind speed straight away.
Yeah.
And so that's why
Then you
you trim, you
trim a
pop
huge
up,
amount.
you accelerate, you can ease because the apparent wind is double.
Correct.
This concept of the apparent wind is very important.
Yep.
Okay.
But then it's all in the hands of the main trimmer
Yes.
to keep the boat aligned. But here there is a very big difference. The reaction of the boat at the main trim, let's say that we are flying 15 knots upwind, everything easy. If I trim the sails, before the boat heel, the boat goes up. You need to add a new dimension on sailing. That is the
3rd one.
third one, the 8 from the water. So the goal of the main trimmer is not to keep the heel. This
The
comes
pitch.
afterwards. Not even the pitch. The pitch is controlled by the rudder rake.
Rather right.
It is to keep the 8 from the water. You ease, the boat goes down. You trim, the boat goes up. And your goal, when you are sitting somewhere here, this is a bit too. Somewhere here, the main trimmer should look at the bow and keep.
Okay.
The first signal the boat is telling you is the movement, the vertical movement. So I see the boat going up, I see the boat, and as much you anticipate this, better and stable is, more stable is the boat.
I think we
That's
have
a
our
key
main
factor.
trimmer here.
Yes, the strongest guy should be the main trimmer. Even if also the foil is a pretty strong job, but that's more a more matter of technique. So the 8 from the water is your goal.
Well, you were
Sorry, what's
The height.
The height,
the height?
yes.
But
your flight height.
And you,
This much. The bow,
yeah. So 40
considering
centimeters,
that you have zero pitch, the bow at this much from the water.
maybe 50 centimeters.
Yes, a bit more.
A bit more even.
40, 50.
In Canada, we're bilingual and we sometimes think in inches.
So the bow not so. I thought it would fly higher, but no, just out of the
If
water.
you fly too high, it becomes everything unstable.
Then
Yeah,
you
and
ventilate.
we'll drop.
Yes, you risk. You must. The leeward foil is piercing, so it's coming out from the water. But this is the fence. It's sucking air,
Yeah.
and this is cutting the air. If this goes out of the water,
Then
the
it will just
ventilation
ventilate.
is for sure. Okay. And so you want to have this much of piercing but even the piercing is actually creating drag. It's better if this stays almost in the water.
Yeah.
So no need to fly high.
No need to fly.
No.
Does this also helps you with riding moment or side slipping to prevent going sideways?
Yeah, but you know we have the dagger as well. So there is no leeward
And the dagger board is always
always
down.
there. Yes.
Okay.
In the morning you take off in the evening.
What? Okay, sorry. I don't want to go ahead with the questions.
No,
Please
but you
continue.
can make question. I'm just trying to follow a path, but
Yeah.
there are so many things that is impossible.
Right.
But that's the key. You keep the boat. And something should be clear also is we have our classical course is the quadrilateral or the Lima shape. So we have reaching, up, in and down. When we are reaching, imagine we start reaching. The helmsman has no option, must go straight.
Sorry, can I go backwards for a little bit? Can you explain to us the why? So when you ease the main, you go down in the height. When you trim in the main, you go up. Can you explain to us, especially since he's here, how does that work?
That's a combination between the fact that you are getting less easing, you are getting less pressure, so the boat is coming with some kind of wing wheel, right? And also is an effect. I don't have the real theoretical explanation, but the foil is losing a bit of power. It's like the sailor fighting against the foil, and if you relax, the foil is less powerful. So actually, the real theory why the boat is going up and down, I don't know, but this is what is happening.
But we can think of
And
it
you
just in
will-
terms of main sheet on for more power and more height.
Yes.
I asked because in the Nacra it's like that, but in the F50 it's the opposite.
Okay.
It's like you ease the wing and you have more lift. You pull in the wing, you have less lift, and in the Nacra, for example, is like this one.
Like this.
You ease, you go down. It's more. It's our understanding is, or like you open the top of the sail a little bit. You have more front forward. It helps with
No,
the
but
pitch.
it's not that it's changing the pitch. The boat is really going up and down like that.
So here is more just.
It's more just
an elevator.
a matter of pressure. It may be also doing a bit of healing.
Okay.
But the feeling you have on board is really this, going
Okay.
up and down.
Perfect.
And so what is important is that you look at the bow and you try to keep the stable aim.
Is it the same with the
You achieve.
Genaker?
Is the same?
With the Genaker as well?
Yes. Yeah, but now this is why I was explaining. I don't want to go into the courses, but
Okay.
there is another important concept. When you're reaching, the helmsman. Imagine you start reaching, you have one boat there, one boat. What can do the helmsman? Just go straight. So it is 100% in the end of the main sail trim.
Okay.
The play of the speed, everything. Everything is in the main trimmer. The helmsman can only go straight because the mark is there. You have to go there. You have boat around. What can you do? Because a classical problem is that the helmsman feels some heel, and the instinct is to bear away,
Exactly.
and it's getting worse and worse. But you cannot bear away. So the helmsman has to go straight. Is before the boat heel, the boat first goes up and then start heeling. You must anticipate with the main, easing,
ease it.
and avoid that the boat goes up and heel. So reaching 100% in the ends of the main trimmer. Then we bear away downwind is 100% in the ends of the helmsman. Because the main is trim, the kite is fully in, and you do nothing. They can drink a coffee. Downwind is everything the helmsman. And the helmsman should be concentrated again in keeping the height. You laugh, the boat goes up. You bear away, the boat goes down. and you keep the right pressure to fly at the right angle. I did with Ruggero Tita, I did from, Lei Garda, from Torbole to Gargnano, downwind, myself and the other guy sitting like that, with the hull dry
Double espresso.
all the way. And Tita was playing.
Okay.
That is really, but this is important to understand, because if you start to make confusion between this concept, you end up missing out. So it has to be clear. Reaching is in. Downwind is the
Are you
helmsman.
writing that down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Upwind is a mix. In between
Yeah.
is where
And
the
lots of
coordination with
communication.
helmsman
Yeah.
and main trimmer is important. But you should decide if sometime it happens, especially if it's rough or puffy or strange, that the boat becomes unstable and you get crazy. So normally the suggestion is stop one of the two
Right.
and find your way, and then maybe you start again. Because if you go out of synchro with main and driving, the boat becomes a crazy horse.
Yeah, we had this living 49er for sure.
Yes.
So if you are out of synchro, decide who, but stop one of the two, re-get the synchro, and then slowly. But the general rule of the thumb is 50-50 upwind, 100% helmsman downwind, 100% or 90% main trimmer reaching. And this has to be clear, because I've seen so many bullshit in the reach, especially by helmsmen trying to do whatever they cannot do. So getting penalties, capsizing. But in the reaching, the main trimmer must be very, very accurate and anticipating a lot. If you are late, you end up very high, then ventilation, fall down. Then if you are with the right anticipation, you get a stable and fast flight.
Perfect.